Welcome, New Orleans, to another Where Family Matters. I'm your host, Emile, Labat. One of the largest challenges that Americans face today is making ends meet. Too much month at the end of the money. But sometimes people go out and try to amend those things by getting a second job, a second mortgage. But we found another way, and that is to take advantage of the opportunity with a home-based business. Did you know that Hewlett-Packard, Microsoft, Martha Stewart, as well as Coca-Cola was started out of the home? Today in our studio, we have the ladies of the Fortune Factory, thefortunefactory.org. Vernice, Dauphin, GlenNeta Griffin, as well as Tiffany Powell. Welcome, ladies, to Where Family Matters.
Thank you.
I'm stumbling all over myself.
Right.
All these good-looking faces in my studio today. Before we get started, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what's your background and so forth, so people know who Vernice Dauphin is.
Okay. Well, my background for 15 years was real estate. My husband and I own a few franchises out of the metro Atlanta area. And 15 years we were successful. We did really, really well with the business. I say were because we're now retired because of our home-based business. I threw everything I had into that business. I totally love real estate, but with the change in the economy right now, we were really forced to pay more attention to a second business we had, which was our travel business.
How about you? Tell us a little bit about yourself, GlenNeta.
Well, I worked for corporate America, for the government, for 10 years. I didn't receive a raise for 3 of those years. They put a salary cap on me. They told me I couldn't make any more money. Even with a college degree, I had people coming in, entry level, making the same thing that I was making. It didn't seem fair, and I thought I was worth a lot more than that. So I stepped out on faith. I turned it over, and I left. I left. I started a home-based business. I'm working my home-based business. I'm taking care of my babies. I'm doing just fine. I'm just going to keep on moving. My home-based business is fantastic, and I'm never going back.
How about you, Ms. Powell? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, originally, my husband, Walter Powell, and I is from New Orleans, and we decided about 12 years ago to move to Atlanta to start our own real estate company. We did that, and then Vernice came with a proposition for a home-based business, which is YTB, and we jumped into that.
So, Vernice, the Fortune Factory. Tell us a little bit about the Fortune Factory.
The Fortune Factory, it came into being when we realized the growth of our organization with our travel company. We realized that there was going to be some mentoring that had to take place. We needed a name for our ladies. We're known as Ladies of the Fortune, and that would be ladiesofthefortune.com. And it's a mentorship program more than anything. It's a sisterhood. We're developing each other in entrepreneurism. For those of us that lack, the strengths and weaknesses are exchanged. And I consider myself a pretty strong businesswoman. Over the last 15 years, I've been very successful. I'm very unemployable. And so that's a strength
So
that I have.
Yourself, right?
Absolutely. And as a result, we formulated Ladies of the Fortune and the Fortune Factory, where our husbands are also engaged in our business. And so that's where it came up of. The growth of our organization, we needed to represent it in the spirit of team, and so we gave it a name.
Well, I'm sure home-based businesses have many advantages. Tell me some of the advantages of having a home-based business.
Well, being home, if that's what you like to do. Now, myself, I have 3 children, 5, 10, and 15 years of age. And one of the advantages I've taken with this business is that I was able to work with my teenage daughter. And the level of success that my husband and I have reached in just a 17-month period with the company within a 2-year period, my 16-year-old, soon to be 18 in 2 years, she would be on my level of pay, which is great. And so she would not really literally have to have a job going to college. She would be set for the rest of her days because it's based on residual income.
Now, let's talk about some of the tax advantages about having a home-based business. Why don't you elaborate on some of those, turning your personal expenses into tax deductions?
Okay, well, first of all, everyone knows what the gas prices look like right now. So you're going to all of the meetings and, meeting with people and sharing your opportunities with other people. You're writing off all of your gas expenses. I mean, I keep a book inside of my car now just to put all of those receipts in there, making sure I don't miss one, and just being able to write off, a percentage of your light bill and, your mortgage, everything, because it's a home-based business. Anything that I buy, if I need a new laptop, anything, I can write that off. Not to mention the travel. I mean, if I go on a vacation now, I'm writing that off and I'm receiving a commission off of it. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So the tax advantages are really numerous, if I may, So let's talk about the strategy, Tiffany, if you will. What do you guys do when it comes down to helping each other strategize in your home-based business?
Well, that's why we're here today, because what we do, we just empower other women. And we're coming out to grasp everybody and let everybody know that we are powerful in ourselves. And we could start our own business, a home-based business. We don't have to have excuses about we're going to be away from the kids and we ain't got time to cook. It's home-based. So when we get together, we come together and we talk about things that we're going to do, how we're going to grow our business, where we see ourselves going, how we're going to get there, how we're going to format that, and when it, putting it in play, like now. And that's what we're here for.
Now, Ladies of the Fortune, that's a pretty sizable group, and I understand you guys are all over the country.
We're international, which is fabulous because it gives us more and more opportunities to travel.
My sister's being international.
Well, and so, we're totally having fun with our business. And the truth is, we put in 40 years, 40 hours for someone else's vision so that they can play golf and they can ride on their yachts and live their dreams. And we're putting in all that time for them. And, so often we never even think how possible it is and likely for us to have that same dream. And
most people are trained, go to school, get a good job, climb that corporate ladder to success. Mistrained, if I will, What do you guys tell folks to encourage them through the home-based business opportunity?
Well, I tell people to keep their mind open. And if they can put in the same hours, as Vernice was saying, for someone else, why can't you put in that same time for yourself? If you want to be, I tell people this all the time, if you're doing the same things over and over again every day and you're getting the same results, you may need to be doing something differently. And if you can see yourself doing the same thing 5 years from now, getting the same results, then you're not going to get ahead. You're not getting anywhere. So in order to change that cycle, you need to step outside the box. If you don't know what the business is about, you need to educate yourself. You need to say, this is the step that I want to take in my life. I'm going to step up. I'm going to educate myself. I'm going to move forward in my life. And I'm going to work my business and put the same thing into it that I did for someone else.
Can I say something, Emile?
Go ahead.
We as women, we have to understand that all of us haven't been to college, because I went to college. I dropped out in my second year. But what I did realize is that formal education only provides us a living. Self-education provides you wealth.
Self-education provides wealth. Now let's talk about building wealth. A lot of folks are exchanging hours for dollars, and they're used to going to that same old 8, 10, 12-hour workaday lifestyle. What happens when somebody takes control of their life and their opportunities and changes their lifestyle? Anybody?
The possibilities are unlimited. You no longer have a ceiling over you. You no longer have someone telling you what you're going to do and where you're going to do it. They can't tell you how much money you're going to make. They can't tell you where you're going to stop. It's unlimited. You keep going until you're ready.
You decide by your efforts.
Absolutely. You decide. You're in control of your life, right? You decide when you're going to retire. It's not about being 65. It's about the money that you have and the money that you're making, and when you decide to stop.
Now, when we talk about lifestyles, most people think it's about money.
Right.
But it's not all about money, is it?
Well, I hold it up there with breathing. But that's just me.
But lifestyle includes being able to be with family and being able to be with the kids,
Quality of living.
time. Yeah, being able to go and come how you want. Right.
Right. Lifestyle is very important. And, you know, you have so many mindsets. Different people are comfortable on different levels. And the lifestyle that my husband and I have obtained through our travel business, actually we were able to maintain a lifestyle. We've made, you know, oodles of money over the years in real estate. And to launch our travel business at the time that we did with the real estate crash, we were able to be sustained or sustain ourselves in our $1 million home, literally, with our new business that we put 12, 15 months in. And so that made a real statement to me. And I just felt like it was really, really important, especially for my friend Tiffany and Walter Powell, our good friends, like my sister now, to let them know, you know, there's something else out here for us. And like I said, the truth is the lifestyle, the residual income. Without it, I mean, we're lost. And again, like you said, we were misinformed. I've worked 15 years in real estate, enjoyed every dollar and every bit of my time servicing my client. But at the end of the day, I had to start over every month. And so now I have a business that when I, you know, started my business a year and a half ago, I still get paid today for something I did a year and a half ago. And that's almost unheard of, and it certainly is untaught. And so
now you're mentioning this, and this is residual income,
Yes.
right? And how important is residual income? Most people go to work and they work those 8 hours, they get that end of the week check, but there is no residual income. How important is residual income to you ladies?
I'll tell you this. I had the blessing of experiencing residual income at a very early age. When I came out of high school, I wanted to get into the entertainment field. I did a commercial, a national commercial, and I received a residual income off of that national commercial for about 5 years. I had no idea what residual income was at the time until I'm still in college and I'm just getting this check every single week. You know, I mean, seriously, this check would just kept on coming and kept on coming. I'm like, wow, when is it going to stop? I mean, I don't want it to stop, but when is it going to stop? You know, I mean, seriously. So I learned, and then I had to say, why am I getting all this money? I didn't even know. I thought it was a one-time thing. I'm going to go shoot this thing and, you know, move on. And I got a residual income off of it. So it made me think, okay, how else can I get this residual income? A home-based business. I mean, Vernice introduced this business to me. So I'm like, you know what? How can I find it? So now that you can have a career, your own business, and it's based around your own lifestyle, and you can have residual income for the rest of your life, I mean, that's
Priceless.
yeah, priceless.
So we do something one time and keep getting paid for it over and over for the rest of our lives?
For the rest of your lives, and your children's lives, and your children's lives, and it just keeps on going.
So what you're saying is this home-based business opportunity is willable to your children's children.
that's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. And the truth
Absolutely.
is, Emile, there's a changing of the guard. And we got to understand that the times that we live in, our parents didn't create that for us. It is our turn to leave generational wealth and to teach our children. And the three of us here, you know, we have children. And so we're not teaching our children the traditional way of getting an education and going to work for somebody else. As a matter of fact, you know, if they're not giving us a hard time, I mean, if they're playing hardball, go to the military. I mean, I don't really want them to, but I'm just saying you need discipline, you need discipline. But for the most part, we're training them up the way that we're supposed to train them up and teaching them residual income right out the gate so that they can understand, go in business for yourself, build something that's going to last for generations.
So how do we change the mindset of most people, though? I mean, you ladies are three innovative, outgoing, upwardly mobile people. On the other hand, a lot of people are in that mindset. They've been trained this way. Our educational system trains people this way. How do we get people's mindset changed to understand the opportunities out there with a home-based business?
Well, I think, first of all, someone has to be willing to want change. You have to be willing to want to better yourself. And if you're around people, your circle, and you see someone doing well, and you want to duplicate what that person is doing, or you want to get where that person is going, then guess what? You better have the mentality to say, okay, I'm going to be a good follower, and I'm going to go and figure out exactly what them people are doing and follow them to where I want to be.
So if I want to be Bill Gates, I follow Bill Gates.
If you want to be Bill Gates, you follow me.
If I want to be Tiffany Powell, I
If you
follow
want to be Tiffany
Powell.
Powell, you better come follow me.
So in other words, duplicate what a wealthy
Duplication
person is
what the
doing.
wealthy person is doing. Absolutely.
And you know what's funny? A lot of people think, oh, they'll never tell me. A lot of times, if you ask them, they'll tell you.
Well, you know, speaking of that, you got Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki, who just written a book pertaining to home-based businesses.
Absolutely.
And they're telling everybody, but is anybody really listening?
We are.
Yeah, but they have to want that change. I had to learn that the hard way. I was reaching out to so many people who didn't want change in their lives, and I was getting burned by it. So, you know, I listened to so many other people, and I was reading on my own, and I said, you know what? You have to go after the people who want the change. Find the people that are looking for you, because there are people who want to change in their lives. Find those people,
And they need a push.
those are going to listen. Yeah.
And that's what this business is all about.
is.
We're looking for people that are looking for us.
That's right.
And they're out there, and we know it. And you go through the numbers, and one of the things my good friend Tiffany said to me on the way over, she said, you know what, Vernice, the hardest thing to change, you know, about a person is their mind.
Well, folks, this is the first half of our show, and I'm sure you're going to come back and get some more great information from these ladies of thefortunefactory.org. Come back in 2 minutes for more Where Family Matters.
I'm walking down the streets, you look at every brick, especially on a weathered and wet day. They have a story. They seem to tell you or want to say, identify me, stop for a moment, and I will speak to you. I know that's strange, but the city does do that. It has a whisper about it.
It just grabs your soul.
It's the kind of place you'd visit in your dreams, you know, and nowhere else.
I do believe that this is the last place of mystery in the country.
We've become our own special culture. You know, we're this kind of monster that all these other cultures have gradually through the years created. This beautiful monster.
You really don't know how to describe it, except if you go somewhere else, it doesn't feel like New Orleans.
We're 300 years of a culture here, and people take it very serious. I mean, we go to lunch so we can figure out where we're going to dinner.
I mean, if you're in another city, you share a supermarket, but we share Mardi Gras, you know?
When I sit here in Preservation Hall, I feel the spirit and I hear the notes of people who played here 50 years ago.
New Orleans is soul. That's what New Orleans is. It's soul. It's in here. That's what it is. It's soul. The spirit of New Orleans never dies because you can't kill something so purely good.
The people, the food, the music. Eco spirit.
Welcome back, New Orleans, to the second half of Where Family Matters. Again, I'm your host, Emile Labat. We're here in the studio with thefortunefactory.org and the CEO, Vernice Dauphin. And Vernice has brought up two additional ladies that are working with her. Y'all just keep coming. Y'all just keep coming. And with us is Chandra Almond and Patrice Coleman. Welcome, ladies, to Where Family Matters. All right, reach on over here. Good to see you guys. Now, we're talking about the Fortune Factory, and we're talking about strategizing for wealth building, earning extra income, saving money on your taxes, and so forth. The traditional business model is what most people understand and believe in, right? And we talked about changing mindsets. What was it for you that brought you into this business, that changed your mind about the traditional business opportunities?
Yes, I am currently still in corporate America, and I've joined YTB about 6 weeks ago, so I'm fresh to the business. I experienced I had a personal experience on my job where I was put in an interim position once my supervisor left, and I sat in the position for approximately a year, and because of the fact that I had no college degree, the position was given to someone else. And that was kind of a wake-up call for myself. I knew at that time that it was time for me to make a change for myself. Once the YTB was introduced to me, it felt as though it was the right thing for me to do to obtain more options for myself. So the experiences for me here lately has been wonderful. The mentorship program has been great. I've learned some strengths about myself that I didn't know that I had. So, and I thank you for that, Vernice.
Let's talk about mentoring folks, because again, it's front in my mind that all of us are educated in this traditional business model. So when you're talking about mentoring folks, what do you do to change their mindset while doing that mentoring process?
And that's a good question, because changing the mindset, it's not an easy thing at all. I think the most important thing to me when I'm dealing, especially with a female, is I relate to them from a sister perspective or even a mother perspective, depending on how old they are spiritually. When I say how old they are spiritually. The mentoring process for me starts with their mind in terms of what they want. What are their goals? If I could focus and bring out the best in them for them, then I have something to work with.
Most of us, Patrice, I'm going to direct this to you. Most of us understand going to work, working those 8 hours again, but we don't understand leveraged income. Can you talk about leveraged income, or maybe we should throw that to anybody around here? Leverage income, when we're talking about
leveraging is good. Leveraging other people's time and talent.
That's right.
I don't think that's not a term that we use, but it's something we do, and I don't think we realize we're doing it. I think that's why Patrice is like leveraging. I think he's talking about what we're doing, but I'm not sure. But leveraging other people's time and talent is what life is all about. Because if you can build something where you have others and you're using their strengths and weaknesses to help you build yours, you're going to reach your goal a lot faster. See, when I go to work, I have an organization of up to 1,500 people. So I get 1,500 checks when I get paid. And as a broker with Century 21 for all those years, I had 60, 70 agents. I got 60, 70 checks. So I understood leverage, and that's what leverage is all about. It's about growing together and not only putting other people to work for you, but in our case, to work with us.
Absolutely.
Because that's what this is. It's a team effect. It's a team.
We're leveraging each other.
So Patrice, what did you do before you joined this organization?
Well, I was with corporate America. I worked for a Fortune 500 company for over 10 years. And then a certain year they came to us and told us that we were displaced. I found myself, I was that employee that went above and beyond expectations, came in early, left late, only to find out that I became expendable while the company expanded. I knew then that I had to redirect myself. At that time that I became displaced, my son was in need of a bone marrow transplant. And just the fact to know that we had to ask someone to be able to take off to take care of my child, or just to go to the doctor, period, didn't sit well with me. Of course, like GlenNeta said, I found myself doing stuff over and over again, still finding the same type of jobs. That wasn't working for me. I knew I had to find something different to earn some stability and some time and financial freedom to be with my family. So that was my move. And Vernice introduced me to YTB, and I've been in it going on 4 months now, and I'm doing well. And I thank her for that opportunity to give me that time, to be able to get that time and financial freedom back.
Well, when it all comes down to it, most of us, again, are used to putting those hours in and exchanging our hours for dollars. How has it freed your time up, and what kind of lifestyle are you now living because of it?
Well, now I get to see my children get up and go to bed at night. That's very important to me, and also just to be able to be a part of their lives, because I find myself just working all the time, not being able to see them grow up through life and do different things, and that is very important, especially if you have a family, to be able to have that time back to enjoy life itself. So that plays an important factor.
Now, up to this point, we've been talking about home-based business, saving money on taxes, leverage income, and the lifestyle. But you all have a vehicle that's taking you in this direction. Let's talk about YTB.
YTB, your true blessing, your time back, your tax break, pick one. It's really been a ram in the bush for my family, because again, Emile, you have to understand, we've been in the real estate industry and it was our primary income for so many years. And when I joined the company, I did it to make money, save money on my travel, and write my personal travel off on my taxes. And so my plan A at the time was working just fine. Who would have guessed a year later, only a short year later, that as I was working my YTV business and sharing it with others passively, very passively, that the real estate market would literally crash the way that it did, and I would find myself unemployed, out of a complete business, forced to leave my franchise.
And that's the worst feeling, to own
yes,
a business and find that you're not
That's
working.
worse than losing a job. You lost a business, and I had more than one. And so, of course, my husband and I, we sat down, and, we're praying folk. We sat down and we got on our knees and said, all right, how are we going to work this out? And, we were seeing through with our business. We just put more focus on it. As far as building it, there's two ways to build our business. You know, we could book a lot of travel for others and make a nice passive income there, and that was pretty simple. Just hand out a business card, let people know the website, and then they book their vacations, and we'll make the commissions on it. But in my case, I wanted to share my business. That was another option that I had to reach the level of success that I'm on right now. I wanted to share my business with as many others that were going through what I was going through, so that we would all come out together victorious and no one would be lost and, you know, just kind of the who moved my cheese syndrome, because the cheese been moved. And people don't realize it, but the cheese is gone. Yeah, they're going to have to get out that room.
Chandra, you knew it, the Fortune Factory, you knew it, the YTV franchise. How's your experience been as far as the business, the mentoring, and so forth?
Well, as I said earlier, I have strengths within myself that I didn't even recognize in the beginning. But overall, the experience has been wonderful. I've gotten to be around some very influential type women, I mean, from all walks of life. I can say that 5 years ago, I wasn't then where I am now, and I have to give that up to the ladies. We as women don't realize how powerful we are. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say, am I satisfied with who I am today? If you're not satisfied, then you have to make a step to change yourself. You have to go out there and seek what it is that you're looking for. And YTB and the ladies of the Fortune has given me an opportunity to go to that venue, to seek that help that I need.
When it comes down to it, you're all over the place. I see Tiffany and you in Houston, y'all in Atlanta, now y'all in New Orleans. What's going on? Y'all doing something on a regular basis here in the city of New Orleans. Let's talk about that.
We are actually, we have a meeting here, a brunch at the Cheesecake Bistro down 4517 Veterans in Metairie near Clearview. That's every Saturday from 11 to 1, where others can come out and sit down and hear the opportunity for themselves, have a nice brunch. The brunch is free for the guests, for the most part of the people that are inviting them. And we do that continually, and that's how we build our business. That's how fun it is. We call it a travel party.
You call it a travel party. So when people come to this travel party, they get information on the business, they get information on taxes, they get information on leverage income and residual income.
That's right.
And how to put all of this stuff together.
We totally equip them. We totally equip them with all the information they need to make a decision to do something for them. And that's what this is all about. And the support is second to none. You can't touch the support. That's why we're here. And these ladies keep giving up to me and thanking me, but I thank them, because without them, I wouldn't be where I am in the business.
Now, when we talk about support, we're talking about training and organization.
Absolutely.
And
Conference calls, meetings, trainings, absolutely.
So since you've been in the business, Patrice, some of the things that you are more enlightened about, personally or business-wise, whatever?
I'm more enlightened about, one thing that it did do is build my personality more.
Makes you more outgoing.
Exactly. I'm out there trying to help whomever I can. I'm an ordinary person. I worked from paycheck to paycheck, and just to know that now I'm able to help other people make that choice and turn their life around to be better. It makes a great difference.
That's a big part of it, you know, because from what I understand of this business, it's not about you. It's about the other guys in the business.
Yeah, you know, the truth is, in life, if you can open a door, as many doors as you can open for somebody else, you won't have a door, you'll have an open walkway all through your life. And that's how I live my life, and it's a lot of the ladies too. And we teach each other that, and we expand on that. We have to present opportunities for others so that when it's time for us, it's no big deal. It's a piece of cake. It's already done. And that's how we live our lives, and that's how we're building our business.
Living your life, helping other people, showing people how to become financially free, and gaining a lifestyle that is unlike what they can imagine.
Yeah, just fun. I love
Turning fun into fortune.
I totally love my business. I thank God what happened in real estate happened, because now I'm free.
And something else, how you guys look like every time y'all working, you're on vacation. Thank you, New Orleans, for coming out to Where Family Matters. If we could show that slide on the Cheesecake Bistro event for the Fortune Factory, that would be great. But come back next week to another show with some more great guests here at Where Family Matters. I'm Emile Labat. See you next week. Thank you. Thank you, ladies. That was great. I appreciate y'all coming.
Do you know what it means miss New Orleans and miss her